What is going on, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in. Welcome to Prospect eSports Showdown. Here for you guys this evening, I am Ethan, joined by Wild. Wild, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited for this. We're looking at a close game here, most likely. I mean, I'm hoping for a close game because the last couple of games of casted have been a bit of a blowout. But if I'm expecting a pretty close game here between Delta and Hyperion.
It's going to be a really exciting series, to be sure. Today, we'll be seeing the number one and the number two seeds duke it out in the grand finals for the intermediate division here for Prospect Esports Showdown. Our first place, our number one seed, being Delta, and our number two being Hyperion. I mean, looking at the scoreboards right now for the regular season, Delta was, I mean, they have just breezed through this tournament with 9 wins out of 9 games played. They have a map differential of 24, but Hyperion, they're not so far behind. 8 wins out of 9 games played and a 17 map differential. In the grand scheme of things, that's not really a great difference between these two teams. Now, Delta, I believe, are going to be the fan favorites going into this matchup, but I have some pretty high expectations for what we'll see out of Hyperion today.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like you said, both these teams, number one, number two seed, both were pretty dominant early on in this. I mean, not early on, throughout the entire tournament, really. And I feel like this is, like I said earlier, and this is probably going to be a close match here because I've seen some blowouts recently, but like you said, the map difference was close, only one win apart, and I'm just excited to get into this game, to be honest.
Yeah, and before we get into there, I think here in a little bit we'll have our predictions going live as well. That'll be a great opportunity for you guys to earn some more channel points as well as flex on your contemporaries. Get those bragging rights. Say I knew that Hyperion was going to come out on top, or that you knew Delta was going to clean sweep the series. Although, while I don't think that that's what we're going to see happening today, I think especially since it's the grand finals, you're going to have both of these teams really just fighting tooth and nail, playing like hell out here in our intermediate division finals match. Between these two teams, I think that both of these teams are really going to bring out some pretty insane gameplay. I can't say anything for compositions that we'll see quite yet. I actually did have the pleasure of casting a Delta game previously, and really, at least as far as I've seen, it doesn't really matter what composition, what heroes they're running. They look comfortable on pretty much everything.
Yeah, I completely agree. I wasn't able to watch all that game, but what I did see, and I have casted Delta before, so I know they're a pretty diverse team that can run a lot of different stuff. And yeah, if I was like you said, I was a betting man tonight, I probably would go with Delta because of the higher seed. I haven't really seen too much of Hyperion, seen a little bit more of Delta, and I like what I see. But I mean, I think Hyperion has just as great of a chance as Delta to win this match tonight.
Now, in order to come out on top of this series, it is a first of four match. So I'm hoping that we go the distance tonight. More Overwatch is good Overwatch for me. Since Hyperion is our number two seed, they're going to be able to pick our first match, for our first map, and it looks like Wild they've opted for Lijiang Tower.
Yeah, they have, and I absolutely love Legion Tower. Probably my favorite control map out of the bunch. You can run so many things, and we actually have a ready here from both teams. So I think we're going to be hopping into the match right now. I mean, this is going to be this is for everything. This is for all the marbles. The entire tournament is going to come down to this best. I mean, first to four.
Now arriving at Lijiang
Going to
Tower.
Lijiang Tower, one of our control point maps, where the objective of the game is to build presence on the point, build it up to 100% completion, and we'll see which team is going to manage to do it here. Looks like we're just going to have, yeah, we're gonna have people building their compositions here. So here for Delta, our starting lineup: Waffle, Shinku, Kaiser, Exvino, Strawberry, and Yuamuse. I expect to see maybe some Mercy, some Baptiste, definitely some Reinhardt-based brawl composition, although I would love to see some Double Bubble or a Dive Comp. Meanwhile, on the side of Hyperion, what are we going to be looking at here for their team composition, Wild?
I mean, like we said, I'm really hoping to see Reinhardt here because I love the Reinhardt rush on this map. You gotta love it. I mean, I'd like to see a sim as well. But I mean, like it's like you said, these teams can play a lot of different comps. They can really play anything, and yeah, I'm just excited to see what they come out.
Yeah, and here we have, you are going to see some Reinhardt tonight, and some Zarya. So Rein and Zarya-based brawl compositions here coming out for both these teams. It looks like we're going to get a more true-based rush composition, actually from both these teams, with the Bab Lucio, Strawberry Yuamuse, Felix, and Lissaru are going to be on both those roles, and now the teams are going to roll out here. Gonna take
Yeah,
the first
absolutely. It's
one.
really gonna be the difference between this Mei and this Sim here. I mean, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
The Immortality field has already come out for Delta. They're going to have to rotate now onto the objective. Xvino has already found the King, and Oakley goes down as well. So not a lot of damage going to be coming out from Hyperion, and we see Manifest of that as Stuff and Things and Felix Family will both go down. So there's the point presence, the damage, the sustain, all systematically dismantled by Delta in this first team fight.
Yeah, what I was going to say is the Mei versus the Sim is really going to be a matchup to see because the Mei might give you a little bit more utility. Those walls might be able to catch off a tank, or maybe the freezers are able to get some chain freezers to put Delta at the advantage, but the Sim's going to allow them to be a little bit more mobile. So it's really going to see how this, like, Mei versus Sim, who's going to be able to get more value. As I say that, they are going to be going to McCree. So it's McCree now, so Oakley's going to be on that McCree.
Oh, and then we have the early tire come out from Xvino as well, trying to outplay the Immortality field, and as the lamp goes down, the tire won't find anything, but Waffle will coming in with 3 picks, Lizard Stuff and Lexi all going down. Waffle finds a 4th and the King, and so far, this is just a roll here for Delta.
Yeah, both Immortality fields coming out early. I mean, I'm sure Xvino would have liked to get a kill with that tire, maybe get a play of the game moment, but Waffle just kind of presses W there, as Ryan can do if you have your Bath and Lucio with you, and Xvino there. I think the window does come out, but Xvino gets an early kill into the Bath.
That is not the pick that you want to see there in the first Wild. And Lexi walking witlessly into a trap, or unwittingly there into a trap as Shinku pushes forward. High energy Zarya. Immortality field does come out, and the wall as well from... Oh, Waffle gets the shatter onto Lissaru. The final blow going on to them. The Immortality field can protect her from the lethal damage incoming, and Delta will be able to hold the choke here. But it looks like we're going to have a re-engagement from Hyperion as the King finds Shinku out. That's some important damage mitigation. But look at these ultimates that Delta has going into this next fight, Wild.
Yeah, I mean, Delta's got the Blizzard, they got the grab. The Zarya's still coming back, though. The Zarya's not going to be here for this fight, so if they engage fast, then
Well, here's the Blizzard coming out, the beat in response from Strawberry, well-timed sustain on the objective. There's the Shatter, lands onto most of Delta. The High Noon is also going to come out in the presence of the drive from Oakley. Oakley uses that to find 2 Strawberry and Xvino out of the fight, and now I think that the fight will finally start swinging in the favor of Hyperion there as they find Kaiser and Waffle as well. Looks like the only one left is Muse, quickly picked out of the fight, and Hyperion will flip the objective.
Yeah, good chatter coming out from Stuff there. I believe gets 3, and the High Noon from Oakley is able to clean up. And really the deciding factor there was Shinku just not being in the fight in time. He was just, oh, it's a good wall in the window. This is Ryan's dead. Here is.
Oh, yeah. Waffle goes down so quickly. And I think that that's going to be the end of this team fight here. You lose your Ryan first, but, ooh, Muse finds the King. So there's the wall that's going to be out there. Particle Barrier onto Xvino is going to help keep them alive. They do eventually fall to a Fire Strike, but we do get the D-Mech onto Lexi. Once again, point presence is gone for the forces of Hyperion, and Kaiser finds Stuff as Waffle, Kaiser is found out by Stuff as Stuff goes down to Waffle. Now it's all go here for Delta. Strawberry goes down, but we still have Muse pumping out the healing onto this objective. Oakley trying to find the off angle here onto Muse, get that healer out as Xvino pops the tires, looking for just 1 pick, but finding Oakley and Lissaru, there's really no one for the tire to get. They do get Stuff and Things, and as we get a rollout from the King all in Doomfist, the bomb comes out from Lexi as well. It doesn't quite find anything, but it does prompt out the Immortality fields, and Muse ends up falling to the King as well. Kaiser finds the Doomfist there onto the objective, still building percent here for Hyperion, and it will finally flip for Delta, but Hyperion has to connect really quickly to this objective.
Yeah, we saw almost an over-aggression there onto the Reinhardt on this side of... Oh, and they don't even touch. Yeah, I mean, like I said, like about these fights are just lasting so long. Oh, over-aggression onto Waffle. The Ryan kind of turned his back on his team and kind of left his backline a little bit vulnerable. And while they do kill Waffle in the end, they end up trading, I think, 2 or 3 out. And while Oakley does kill the Lucio there, it's just not enough. And so good job by Delta just to punish the Reinhardt Stuff for just going too aggressive onto Waffle and leaving his team exposed.
I mean, and we've said this many times here on this channel, Overwatch is a resource-based game, and the longer some of these team fights drag out, the more you're going to see one of these 2 teams emerging out on top. And right now, it looks like it's Delta. And honestly, it doesn't even look like it matters what the pace of the game is. If it's a short team fight or a long one, Delta's still looking pretty good. But I think that Hyperion is looking to swap it up with this comp that they're running.
Yeah, we see a ball hog here for Delta, but Hyperion also is going to be running a pharmacy dive. So we're really going to see this kind of change of spell. Let's see if the Hog's able to punish this Winston and Diva for going into... The King is already going to be able to get a kill. Oh, we have a pause. We have to let the team fight. We have to let the team fight. We have to let the team fight go. As soon as this team fight is done, we're going to have... We have to, yeah, they're asking for a pause. We have to wait for the team fight to be done.
Here we go. We're going to call to end the fight so that we can get that pause there. And we should be able to find that. We should be able to find that respite here that we're calling for from the teams. Just part of the policy here to let the team play out, and then we.
Yeah,
will
I
get
think
our
right here is probably a good place for the pause.
Yep.
Oh, they're good now. Okay, never mind. Okay, so I think they're good now. We do have a pause just because. Yeah, I think that we are going to be going right back into it. But yeah, just in case, for any of you guys that don't know, if one team calls for a pause, then we have to let the team fight kind of play out. So yeah, we have to kind of wait for it to play out. So unfortunately, Lexi does go down there, but yeah, we're gonna be going right back into it.
I mean, we'll be swinging right back into this. Lexi will be coming out of spawn here shortly, and granted, it is a little difficult to make it to where the team fight ends there for Hyperion, but it's no skin off their backs. They're still 5 strong into this fight, only 7% built up on the objective for Delta. I think that we'll be coming back in just as strong as we were at the beginning of the match here. So yeah, just waiting on that to come in, and we'll be able to get going here. I like this composition here that we're seeing from Hyperion.
Yeah, me too. It's a little bit different. Like I mean, we usually don't see dive too often now. I mean, Winston Diva dive is going to be kind of like a classic composition to run, especially on control points. You see dive all the time. We see a ball hog here, which is again not really classic composition, but
A
we
little
used
less
to be
conventional.
fairly good.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little bit less conventional, but I mean, a few patches ago is very strong. And we do have R's from both teams. So we are going to be going right back into the match.
fantastic. Yeah, and as we said, it looks like Delta's going to control the objective first. We're going to get a reset here from Hyperion, but they'll be running and gunning back here in a moment.
Absolutely, and you look at this ult charge, Kaiser almost coming with this pulse bomb, and the King with this barrage. So these two DPS ultimates coming online that could be defining for this next fight. Let's see if the pulse bomb can get anything, or if the Bear can get value if this barrage without dying.
Hyperion is looking for the barrage to get something, and as the bubble comes down from Stuff going in, it looks like Stuff is going to go down in the process. Shinku, the damage amp coming out onto them is going to be really good. Strawberry staying proactive on that Mercy is going to damage boost the X Vino and those abilities, and it's going to force Hyperion right back into spawn off the back of that early pick on the Stuff.
Yeah, and the pulse bomb is used by Kaiser there, but really not too big of an investment coming out from Delta. Really nothing besides that pulse bomb coming out. And yeah, I mean, the Pharaoh's going to be down really early here.
Yeah, you saw that hook from Waffle onto the King, taking the King out of the fight. We get the duplicate as well from Exavino. The whole hog out from Waffle does find Stuff, and looks like Lexi get to mech, but won't have a chance to remech. They went flying there.
Oh.
Exavino also finding the environmental kill on Felix, so this is a hard reset here. And look, we still haven't used the barrage on the side of Hyperion.
Yeah, Hyperion coming up on 6 ultimates here. They should be able to win this fight. They're only going to be going into about 3. The sound barrier from UMU is going to be the one to look out for. If they can bake that out early, it's going to find value with almost any of their ults coming out. But we're going to have to see how they're going to use the ult economy.
And we do have the Nano coming out onto Stuff and things. The Minefield from Shinku in response. Barrage does come out onto Waffle from the King. Is trying to get trying to get Strawberry out of that fight, but Strawberry pops the bounce to get that additional boost of mobility. Brings Waffle back into this fight. Xvino did find the King, and as Felix Bangle goes down, that's some essential that's vitality off of the objective here for Hyperion. And the beat comes out to sustain the forces of Delta. The King does get Kaiser out of the fight though, so this is actually swingable. And because Lissaru is still up in this fight, we're gonna get the bomb as well. Good stall potential as UMU's goes down. It's now only Strawberry healing on the objective for the 2 tanks. Primal Rage coming out from Stuff and things, looking to move people around as Xvino finds the King yet again. The King not having a good time connecting to this objective. But look at Stuff and things popping off with eliminations onto Shinku and Xvino. But Waffle coming in clutch with a whole hog elimination onto Stuff and things. Strawberry bringing Shinku back into the fight. Space created is what Waffle is shouting in the chat here as the pile drive comes out from Shinku. Kaiser finds Oakley, and that is already our first map here.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick 2-0 on the side of Delta. And I mean, the main thing I would like to look at coming forward from Hyperion is probably a little bit better ultimate usage. As we saw, the ultimate usage there, the Fair held on to Barrage for maybe a little bit too long. And this is this 3K that we saw from Waffle, kind of just doing rhyme things, pressing W, Immortality Field's down. You just press W, you got free reign over him. It's a 4 actually, but yeah, I'd like to see the ultimate economy maybe be used a little better for Hyperion, but overall, a pretty dominant first map for Delta.
Delta looking good at the start of this series, an important series that they need to look good at the start of. And Hyperion, like you mentioned, a couple of things to correct from them, but they still had some really good standout moments. The King is making it happen on the damage roll, and even though we are getting some early eliminations onto Felix on the Ana there, Lissaru is still compensating for some of those man disadvantages pretty well. I like the space that Stuff is trying to create. Stuff and things leaping in with the barrier, perhaps a little bit too early on those bubbles. Use it to get out rather than to go in. But like you said, we'll see these corrections made, and after that, I think going into these next couple of maps, I think that we're going to see some really arduous fights here between the two teams. That being said, I think we'll be going to our assault game mode next. Is that right, Wild?
Yes, it is. And for the assault maps, we are going to be having Hanamira, Volskaya, and Temple of Anubis here. And considering how things went on this first map, I'm thinking probably. I mean, I would like to say Temple of Anubis just because it seems like when they want to run that, they might want to run the fair again. And Anubis is a little bit better for just kind of running a lot of different DPS comps. And I will say Oakley and the King probably they did look pretty good on Li Jiang. I mean, like I said, it wasn't 2-0, but they were both looking pretty solid. So I wouldn't be surprised here if we go to Temple instead of Volskaya or Hanamira. But really, all three are on the table here for Hyperion.
I mean, Volskaya and Hanamura, I think, are fan favorites here. Unless you really specialize on like the Genji, the Echo, the Monkey, who all benefit from the architecture of Temple of Anubis. I was looking at this series before getting into the casting booth tonight, and just looking at the teams, looking at the map pool, and I was thinking to myself, I would love to see some Temple of Anubis played between these two teams. I think that it works really well for Delta and Hyperion both. It'll give each of them a good opportunity to maybe play around those compositions. For those of you who are watching, be sure to cast your predictions in the chat. I think that just went live, and see for yourself who's going to emerge on top for this next matchup. Doesn't look like we've had a pick though for either of the. Or, I'm sorry, for Hyperion here. Who's going to have the map pick?
Yeah, they're taking their time this far, which is good. I mean, they have plenty of time here to talk things over, maybe analyze how that map went, what went wrong. But I agree. I mean, Temple of Anubis is probably my favorite, but still the most frustrating map to play on because you get 5 kills and you get stalled out here on Anubis. Or really, any this is the problem with 2CP in general, which is like why they're taking it out in Overwatch 2. But for now, we are going to be having to deal with 2CP. So, yeah, they are going to be choosing Volskaya here, which this is a pretty interesting map pick because it's like you said, Volskaya and Hanamira maybe a little bit of fan favorites over Temple of Anubis, but I think Temple might adjust a little better to the style we've seen so far from them.
And we will have. It looks like we have Delta on the defense as well. So Delta is going to be looking. I'll tell you, the strategy here is to have a really good defense, get morale high, and if you can first point full hold, then not only is your morale high, your time bank is looking pretty good. On top of that, you make the game relatively quick for your players, and the longer this series drags out, the more mistakes we're going to see as the stamina of each of these teams are tested, and so. So I'm intrigued here by Delta's decision to defend first. Hyperion is going to have to bring their A game for the attack here. I think that we might see their dive composition emerge if they try to run the Ryan Zarya brawl comp. That could also work as well. It's just fights on the objective itself for that have to be really really clean.
All right, yeah, and we don't have any swaps here coming from either team. Both of them having some spectators coming in, but I mean some spectators watching this game. But yeah, we're gonna keep the same lineup, the Delta and Hyperion that we know, and yeah, I mean Delta is gonna be starting on defense as well, which is pretty standard. I mean, we see most teams opt for the defense first because it kind of allows them to set the pace a little better than offense. It allows them to set a win condition for themselves. So not too surprising here that we have. I mean, we do actually have a switch. I lied. I'm sorry. We do have a switch. We have the King out, which is a little bit surprising. I thought the King was actually doing pretty good on that map, but we have Dark in for King here. What do you think this means in terms of Hyperion's composition or what they want to run, Ethan?
Well, Dark Ember, I'm unfamiliar with the hero pool for this particular player, but I think that what that does mean is that they're probably going to commit more to this rush style composition. They're saying, we can't beat Delta in this weird, wacky game of Overwatch where we can pick whatever we want and try to see if we can make it work. I think that what this means from Hyperion is that we will probably see a rush-based composition. We'll probably see a Mei or another Symmetra coming out, and I think that what it means is that what we want is from Hyperion, we want flexibility. We want whatever Delta is running, we want to see if we can either match it or beat it with with a composition that is perhaps borders on the more conventional side of things. So I'm intrigued. I like you said, I thought the King was doing really well. I think that the heroes that they play, the Doomfist and the Pharah, mainly fit well into the context of the dive composition that we saw Stuff and Lexi trying to run on the Monkey and the Diva. So we'll just have to see if this is the swap that Hyperion needs to start reversing this series.
Yeah, we're gonna be hopping into Volskaya right now, and yeah, I'm guessing this is maybe a change because like
Traveling to Volskaya
we
in
saw the King and maybe some projectile heroes. Maybe we'll see maybe a double hit scan comp with this team.
initiating
Who knows?
match.
But really, they're gonna be on offense here, so we really can't take whatever they play too seriously until they come out of the gates. But what are you expecting to see here on defense here for Delta? Because I think probably Orion Diva.
I mean, that would be the strong bet, right? You want a strong hold on this first defensive point here. You don't want to give Hyperion any space, any room to work with in regards to this map, or much greater the series, right? So you've got to be running something strong out the gate. But watch, Delta's going to do
Ready
something
for battle.
funky here. Not quite funky. They're going to go for the double bubble based composition. X Vino is going to be on Echo and Kaiser on Ash as well. We have Strawberry damage boosting and Yu Muse on the Ana going to play the backlines to keep the team
Attackers
sustained.
incoming in 30 seconds.
Oh, we do have a pause
All
coming
right,
in
we
as
do have a
well.
pause here. Yeah, we have a bit of production issues. So yeah, we are gonna be just waiting as for 1 second here, but yeah, I mean Double Bubble and Rhine Diva probably the two most prevalent comps as of now. And yeah, I mean this Double Bubble, the Winston's gonna be able to hold this little high grounds area we're looking at right now, kind of like the middle part of the area. You can hold that, kind of beam down, get a lot of ult charge with his Tesla cannon. And yeah, the Zarya is going to be able to provide a lot of utility, allows him to play aggressive, kind of get him out with the bubble. And then the Ashe here, we've seen the Ashe a lot of times. I mean, we saw it last week actually. I
Mhm.
believe it was from Milan, and Milan was our player of the game. Ended up in the lower division, but yeah, I mean the Ashe here has proven. I mean, so far we have seen it be successful on this map on defense, especially. So I'm expecting us to see a pretty good defense coming out here from Delta.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. Volskaya, particularly first point, is actually a pretty good map for the double bubble composition as well. If seeing Ash in games is so funny to me, just because
Traveling
it
to
seems like
Volskaya base.
even in this
Ready
meta,
for
she's dipping
battle.
in and out of viability. McCree is obviously the number 1 pick right now that we're seeing across most ranks for a hit scan, and we see a little bit of Soldier as well, and we see a little bit of Ash. So it's always difficult for me to tell. Okay, who's the most powerful one? Is it Widow? Is it Kree? Is it Soldier? Is it Ash? Because like I said, Soldier and Ash, they're the ones who are just persistently you might see them, you might not see them. But Strawberry here, damage boosting X Vino and Kaiser both. That's going to leave for some lethal instances of damage that it's going to be on Lexi to mitigate, especially those dynamites coming out from Kaiser. And look wild at the tank composition being run for Delta. The Winston and the Zarya, the Tesla cannon, and I don't even know the name of Zarya's gun, but the beam coming out
Fusion
from Shinku.
something? I think it's a
I,
fusion. I'm not sure.
it
Fusion
might be
rifle?
something like
No,
that.
I think that's from Halo, but
That
I
sounds
don't
like
know. I
Halo.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying here, but yeah.
I mean, think about how little of that frontline damage is going to be mitigated, right? Lexi is going to be equipped with a DM, but won't be able to do anything about Waffle and Shinku. And if Waffle connects to Stuff and Things has the hammer, but the Tesla cannon is going to go right past their shield, and it's going to tether onto Felix or Lissaru if they play too close. Especially Lissaru is going to want to stay safe, use that speed to possibly disengage from some of the space that Waffle is going to be looking to create.
Yeah, absolutely. And going over to Hyperion here, we see a pretty standard comp, except we have Dark Ember on the Doomfist, which is
Mm.
possibly why they wanted to bring him in because I mean Doomfist is really kind of a niche pick here. We don't really see Doomfist. Doomfist is fairly weak right now, not too good, and we don't really see him a lot, especially in the kind of competitive scene, especially like a 6 man, like a team scene. But yeah, we usually see Dark Ember locking this Doomfist, and I'm gonna have to wonder. This is probably why he's gonna be coming in for this map. Do they maybe have a Doomfist strategy or a something revolving around Dark Ember to maybe catch Delta off guard?
You know, that's what I'm gonna have to imagine their plan is here for Dark Ember to specifically disrupt either you know, one of the linchpins that that Hyperion has possibly identified, whether that's Waffle and Shinku or Kaiser and Vino, maybe a dive onto Muse. What's interesting about it is that once again we saw the King flex onto the Doomfist for Legion Control Center, so it is a little bit interesting that we have Dark Ember in instead of keeping the King in. It's possible, like you mentioned, that you know this could just be a niche pick that Dark Ember is capable of running a little bit more efficiently. So yeah, I'm intrigued. My eyes are going to be on Dark Ember certainly for this attack here. Not only are you going to have space and engagements determined by stuff and things and Lexi, but also Dark Ember will be playing into that partially with just the numerous engagement tools that Doomfist has to work with.
Yeah, and we finally have everything kind of worked out here. We have our production back. We have both teams ready, and finally we're gonna be able to get. We can stop speculating. We're gonna be able to get into this game, and yeah, I'm just excited to see kind of again two kind of controversial styles, or not. Yeah, kind of like opposites. But yeah,
It's going to be
we're
interesting
just
for sure. Delta, you know, not meeting the rush composition that that Hyperion is opting to run. So more importantly, I'm curious to see if the compositions are going to swap halfway through.
Defend objective A.
yeah. I mean, it's very possible that they're gonna be switching off of this Doomfist at some point if it doesn't work right away. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna see a Dynamite come out here. Not really gonna get too much. And yeah, the ones that's gonna be poking from the high ground here, gonna be getting that ultra though.
Yeah, look at that, 14% already. Waffle's looking for a re-engagement. Is going to get caught out a little bit by Dark Ember, looking to go in, and that's going to create space here for the team, for Hyperion to push through the choke. Oh, look at those stickies onto Felix, though. Already out of the fight. It means it's only Lucio healing. Luciou's going to try and speed them up to the high ground here, but Waffle, Strawberry, and XVino are ready to beat them. It's going to pump damage into stuff and things, and this has already got to be the end of the team fight as Kaiser closes it out with 2 picks, and we're going to get a reset from Oakley and Lexi.
Yeah, I mean, a big sticky bomb coming out from XVino there completely obliterates that BAP before it has a chance to put up the Immortality Field or for the Lucio to be amp up some heals. Don't even know if he had it, but yeah, good job by XVino. And from there, I mean, they try to take the high ground, which is the right play from Hyperion, as the Lucio, the BAP will get back fairly fast, but unfortunately they're all going to go down here, so it's a full reset.
Yeah, and now we do have Dark Ember swapping off of the Doomfist and onto Soldier 76. Definitely looking to thwart the damage that XVino is capable of pumping out. Lexi does find the melee finish onto them, but be careful. Strawberry's going to be looking for that res. Kaiser finds Oakley out of this fight to lobs at Dynamite. Doesn't quite connect with anyone. Lexi is getting close to half HP here. Might get to mech. Something's charging up to the high ground.
Oh my goodness.
What a pin! That was good looking. A play from stuff and things. So the Nano Boost is now going to go onto Waffle, tethering onto Felix. Penguin is going to find that elimination and pops a Primal Rage as well. As Bob connects to the objective from Kaiser, it's going to stall things out just a little bit, put stuff and things on the ropes here with Lissaru, and it looks like that's going to be it. Massive anti-nade from Muse onto 2 of the remaining members of Hyperion, and that is it for this fight.
A great job by Yumi's there towards the end, but what a play from Stuff and Things, just going for the all-in pin, and does find the Zarya. So I mean, that's a pretty decent pick. So the Dara is able to, her energy gets reset, not to keep her high energy. So even though they lose this,
And, XVino already opening up that fight with an elimination onto Dark Ember. Real quick shout out to Papa Jeff 420. Thank you so much for the 100 bits. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Here we have the engagement from Waffle and XVino. Hyperion opting for this high ground. I think it's going to be their doom as the application matrix is blocked by Felix. A massive shatter from the fake Reinhardt. XVino getting, I think, 2 or 3 down. It prompts the remake from Lexi after throwing the bomb. Didn't quite secure anything. Another shatter coming up from XVino is going to put Lissaru on their back. Finally eliminated out of this fight. That was a wild fight.
yeah, XVino there showing that he can be just as aggressive as Stuff and Things as on that Ryan. Just goes for a pin right away and then shatters immediately after. So great aggressive play coming up. But if you look at the ultimates here, we only have a Visor and Shatter here coming up for Hyperion, so not too much in the bank. And they'll be walking into a double supportal and a grab in a Winston ult almost with this fight. So
and look at this. Oh yeah, go ahead. Oh my goodness, there's the grab and the nano boost as well from Waffle. It's gonna just microwave anyone in there. Waffle's going to be able to build a Primal Rage, secures 2. Felix and Oakley are out of the fight, is going to get pinned, but doesn't even go less than half HP from Stuffing Things. Stuffing Things now, Purple is going to swing the hammer. It's all they can do, but they're finally eliminated with a jump pack kill.
All right, so Soldier, we do have Dark Ember behind. I'm not sure if they know where he is. This visor could be exactly what Hyperion needs to crack open this point. It's going to be sneaking around behind, maybe hoping to get an Honor or two, or the Honor or the Mercy. But yeah, it's going to be a tough engage here coming from Hyperion. I mean, they're going to be so staggered onto the point. The ball is going to be able to touch here. Actually, the Soldier might have to touch. The ball goes down right away, so looking not too good.
Oh my goodness, speaking of going around right away, Dark Ember out of the fight. Xvino getting 3, Oakley is gone as well, and that is it now. Delta just cleans things up, and that is it. Yeah, that's going to be it for the defense round.
Complete.
Yeah, and Delta just being very, very dominant here. I mean, towards the beginning, we were talking up this series, saying that we're expecting something that's going to be pretty close, and so far, it has been all Delta throughout these 2 rounds. And one thing we said we wanted Hyperion to work on was the ultimate economy, and I didn't see a much better ultimate economy, to be honest. I mean, I believe there was only one Ryan Shadow throughout that entire round. He built it up pretty fast, which is
And yeah, you're absolutely right as far as the ultimate economies go, and I like to consider as well the efficiency of the ultimates coming out from Delta as well. Now they're on the attack phase, and they will be fully committing to this rush composition, which is a little funny to me. Normally, I think about Double Bubble being a great attack composition. They ran it really well on the defense as well, and I think part of it perhaps is the pathing that Hyperion opted for, trying to take these high grounds that Waffle can get to really easily. And now, I think that we're going to see from Delta, I don't think that we're going to even see them opting for the high ground. I think that they're just going to run it down mid, they're going to brawl it out, and they're probably going to be able to capture a 1 tick of progress relatively easily.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Gates open up here.
yeah, one would
Shinku
think,
on the-
just seeing how dominant they were. Yeah, the Winston was able to control the high ground so well there, like I said before, and Waffle did a great job. So let's see how his Ryan is compared to his Winston and Ryan v. Ryan match.
Already, I'm a little bit wrong. I said Delta probably won't be opting for this high ground, but that's exactly what they do. They're trying to put Kaiser and Xvino into position. We're going to see a rotation now from Hyperion. Stuffing Things looking to guard the Mega Pack, but I don't think that that's where the engagement is going to happen. Look at this rotation all the way around the high ground, ring around the Rosie is what Delta is playing here, and Oakley on the bunker is going to actually yield there. Lexi and Shinku duking it out there on the high ground as we get the teleport from Dark Ember onto there. Damage mitigated by Shinku on the Diva there, and now the wall separating Stuffing Things out from the rest of the team. Their Mortality Field comes out, is able to save them, but already that is an important resource out from both teams. Lissaru on the Brigitte finds uses a lamp there. Dark Embo goes into Raid form, gets immediately picked by Kaiser. Now the Fire Strike connecting onto a few is going to put Waffle at a pretty good advantage for ultimate. Xvino is out of the fight by a charge. Kaiser finds Stuffing Things, and as the Amplification Matrix, the ultimates are all coming out from Delta, and the picks as well. They're going to be able to capture 33% of objective progress and call it a wrap on this map.
Victory.
Yeah, Xvino has been great so far, regardless of what he's been playing, especially on the Mei though. I mean, we saw we had 2 huge walls there. First one doesn't end up in any kills, get the immortality out, but the second one is going to end up in, I think, 3 kills there. So good job by Xvino. The Echo again was I think this is his extremely aggressive play on this Echo, showing stuff that he can also play aggressive. Oh no, but yeah, he gets another shatter here as well, but.
I mean, there's the second shatter, and onto Lissaru on the Lucio is going to get wiped out of that match, and now we'll be going into our third map of the series. Hyperion is down 2 whole maps. That's not the disadvantage that you want to be working with here, and I think that. I mean, things are looking better and better for Delta as we get into our third map, and that's going to be onto a hybrid map. Our options being King's Row, Blizzard World, and Eichenwald. Personally, I would like to see. I'm obligated as an Overwatch player to say that I want to see King's Row played, but honestly, I think that I want to see Blizzard World. That's what I'm gonna want.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to do one of those. I prefer not Eichenwald, and I just hate that map. But yeah, Kings Row.
Really?
If we're looking for it, yeah, I hate Eichenwald. I mean, maybe it's because I always lose on it. It's a cool map. It's a beautiful map, but can never seem to win on that map ever. So maybe that's why I just can't stand that map. But yeah, I would agree. I'd like to see Kings Row or Blizzard World, because Kings Row sort of is a skill matchup. You've got just a purely, I mean, especially if you're going to be running the Ryan Diva or Ryan Zarya, it's just going head to head, no different composition. It's all going to be about the mind games with those people.
Yeah, and more importantly, Kings Row is just such a great map for this for the rush-based composition, the brawl-based compositions that these teams are looking to run. I would love to see Blizzard World, namely for the double bubble composition that we were seeing from Delta, the Monkey and the Zarya. They're being particularly good on the second point for Blizzard World, but also seeing the way that Delta's playing right now would also be good really on any map. At least so far, I struggle to find weaknesses in Delta, and I think Hyperion is in the same boat as me because they aren't able to come out on some of these on top of some of these team fights here. Once again, we need to see these this ultimate usage corrected from Hyperion. We need to see them not sacrifice so much into a lost fight. You remember we had launched the bomb, dropped the M matrix, dropped the beat, which I think ended up might have been canceled. I can't quite remember. And so not committing so much to these lost fights. I mean, this is the finals here. You want to play as clean as possible here if you're playing for Hyperion, and so I think that maybe the step in the right direction is having the King come back in for Dark Ember. Wild, you and I were pretty optimistic about the King after first map, but I think that substitution is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, no shade here for Dark Ember, but yeah, Dark Ember does come back out, and the King's back in. The King looked pretty good on that projectile DPS, so hopefully he's able to bring maybe a little bit of new life. He got to maybe step aside for a round, maybe check things out from a different perspective. Maybe he's coming back with some different ideas for his team, maybe some different strategies. But yeah, we are gonna be going to King's Row. I don't know if you caught that, but
Ooh.
so yeah, I'm hoping to see just a Ryan Diva, Ryan Zarya, one of those two mirror, because like I said, I love to see us the head-to-head, the mind game's going to be going at it, all about predicting what your opponent's going to do, nothing about team composition. It's just Overwatch at its simplest, you know?
Yes, absolutely. And as we do head into our next match, be sure to cast your predictions for the outcome of this match. I saw that a couple of us in the chat missed our opportunity to cast predictions for our last match on Volskaya. Definitely don't want to miss your opportunity this time. Cast those predictions, get bragging rights over all your friends who thought that Delta was going to win Kings Row, or that Hyperion would emerge on top of this series. And with all that said, I think we'll be launching into Kings Row here shortly.
Yeah, we have readies from both teams up. Hyperion, I think, again, want to take just a little bit of time, maybe go over a couple of things. I mean, it's all good for them. Please take their time. They need to be able to analyze something because, like you said, I mean, Delta's looked really good so far. I haven't seen many holes in their game. They've looked solid overall team, but already from the start, we see a very strange composition coming out. Oh wait, we don't have enough.
Initiating match.
Oh, here we go. It's back up. I'm not 100% sure what just happened, but the lobby is gonna be back up. So I'm sorry about that.
No, I think that they were kind of trolling us a little bit there, but Delta's still on the defense. Is going to favor them a little bit. They'll be able to run whatever composition they're comfortable with, and we saw how good they looked on the defense for Volskaya. Some players of Overwatch call this particular game mode, the hybrid mode, 2CP on wheels, and the first point is very similar to the first point of your assault game modes, like you would find in Hanamura and Volskaya. But here, wild, we are seeing a rush-based composition here.
Yeah, we see a defensive Doomfist coming out from Xvino, which is something that you look at Delta's comp, it's all extremely standard. You got the Rhine Diva, you've got the Bap Lucio, you've got the Doomfist, and I'm wondering how this Doomfist is gonna do. I mean, like I said, Xvino has been great so far this.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, and you lagged a little bit there, Wild, but I think that I heard what you were trying to communicate come across pretty clearly. Xvino's been doing really good so far, and them on the Doomfist I think is not going to be any different than them on any other hero, namely the Echo there on Volskaya. Already, we've got Hyperion pushing through the choke. Punch coming out onto Lexi. Is close to getting demected. Does proc the Immortality Field out from Felix Penguin, and already Oakley has gone down, so Hyperion's push is going to be suffering for damage, and as Xvino finds Felix Penguin, stuffing things goes down as well. I mean, once again, I said this once on Li Xiong. He's looking for a potential DMAC kill. I think is just going to have to get out of there. Yeah, reset. I said this earlier on Li Xiong Tower. It's just Delta is systematically dismantling the forces of Hyperion here, taking out one role and then the next and then the next.
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good Doom's engage. I mean, he's just gonna punch in, kind of get some CC out, he punched the D.Va back, so the defense matrix isn't gonna be there. He's gonna get out right away. Yeah. Good job by XVino. You look at Waffle here with the Shire. He's gonna be coming up on it a little bit sooner than stuff. So let's see. Oh, he's walled off though. Waffle.
Yeah, Waffle went for the Shatter, and the wall was big from the King. The Shatter did end up stunning the King on the nade there, and as the High Noon comes out from Kaiser, it's going to find two. Kaiser sacrifices himself in the process, though, and it looks like things might be tough here for Delta. The forces of Hyperion are 4 strong in the objective, and without Shinku and Mech, that's point presence that's out of the fight. We do have the wall coming out from the King to block off XVino's reconnection to the objective, and it looks like XVino is going to go down. Waffle looks I'm missing the word, but Waffle's looking at that objective and saying, no, I can't contest. We're going to reset that. Forlornly, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, a great wall by the King there to separate Waffle. The Immortality field is under saving him, so good job by UMUs, but in the end, he goes for the Shadow. It does not really work. A huge Doom Fist going. He's going to go with the ult here as well. Let's see if we can get anything big with it.
Look at the rest of Delta following in as well. They're saying, XVino, you want to feed? We'll feed with you. And it's going to prompt the Blizzard out from the King. Look at this. The cart hasn't even moved around the first corner. We're already getting ults out of Hyperion. This is actually not bad for Delta. Even though Waffle goes down, the wall comes up, separating Kaiser from the rest of the team. XVino's going to get frozen here. Delta's still looking good. Look at them. 4 of them are already disengaging here, and they're going to be able to take next fight probably around second or third corner.
Yeah, if you're Hyperion, if you can get a stagger kill here, you are so happy with that bike, because you you're only gonna be invested.
Here we go. Teams are going to be looking for those early picks. Waffle coming out with a stun onto stuff and things. The Immortality field, Amplification Matrix coming out from Felix. It goes too far, though. High Noon is going to be locked by Oakley. Walled up the King. Won't be able to find anything quite yet. Waffle looking pretty poorly on those shield resources, but stuff and things is already down. A massive stun from Oakley gets 3 people, and the High Noon does come out from Kaiser. Finds Oakley out of the fight. Shinku cleans it up with the King, and already that is one more team fight out for Delta.
Yeah, I love the synergy there, though, between Oakley and the King. The King using his wall there to try to boost Oakley up, maybe get something with the High Noon. Even though it didn't work out, it's good to see that their DPS are having quite a bit of synergy, so positive signs coming out from Hyperion. And yeah, you're going to have the Blizzard up again for Hyperion. You might want to use that when they grab, but they can use it aggressively as well, so we're going to have to see what they're going to be doing this fight.
We have Strawberry with the beat, which is probably going to be dropped here shortly. Yup, we do get the beat just before Strawberry gets frozen there. Waffle proccing the Immortality field. I'm sorry, the Immortality field coming onto Waffles. The Shatter gets Vino and Shinku and Strawberry. Waffle frozen yet again. Doesn't quite fall from the fight, and the beat comes out to sustain Hyperion, but the wall separates Stuff from the rest of the team. Stuff does find Strawberry, though, and Waffle goes down as well. Now Delta is on the ropes here for this second point. Stuff and Things is caught out, though, after a pin, and a massive Graviton Surge as the Blizzard comes out from XVino. It's going to be used to clean up the fight, but it looks like Oakley coming in clutch, getting 3. Lexi finishing off Kaiser with the missiles, and that is going to be it for the second point hold for Delta. They're going to have to think about what they have to do to fortify third.
I just don't know about that full commit there, because we see Shinku and XVino, they might have had one more, but it's at max they had 3 players against the 5 on the side of Hyperion, and I just don't know about, those are 2 humongous ultimates they have committed. If you look on the other side, I mean, they've almost got a Shatter, they're going to get a bomb soon from Lexi, so, Seven Things has gone off the map, so I'm not 100% sure what happened there.
I think he was trying to work his way around the wall and ended up plummeting to their death there. Waffle gets Oakley out of the fight with the Fire Strike, so already that fight is done for Hyperion. Look at this time bank that they have to work with. They can wait, right? Yeah,
it's not too important for them to go really quick. And just a quick shout out to Liz, great sound barrier towards the end of last fight. It was good to use it way after Strawberry. Really provided a lot of healing bursts, so good job by Liz. But yeah, we're going to be going right into an aggressive fight. Actually, a really aggressive Kai Noon coming out from Kaiser. I doubt it's going to find anything because the Immortality's up.
Yeah, and Vino finds the matchup and the King. Kaiser gets 2 more after the High Noon. It's not necessarily the High Noon that we needed to find eliminations, right? We just need the High Noon to get the Defense Matrix, the Shield, and the Immortality Field out so that Kaiser could come in with those cleanup kills.
Yeah, and as you said, their time bank is looking pretty decent here, but I mean, but in the blink of an eye, especially on point C of any hybrid map, you can really just dwindle down and like as fast as possible. So we do have it. We have bunch of voltage coming out here, but stuff and things. His shatters cancel, and that's gonna be the end of the fight.
Yeah, look at Kaiser lighting up the kill feed there again. Amplification Matrix cast on the side of Hyperion, the Blizzard cast on the side of Delta. Neither team looking to really come out on top of that engagement besides Delta continuing to hold this objective here.
Yeah, both these teams playing extremely aggressive into engages. We notice like engages usually are just lasting only like 10 seconds for these teams, like, and then everything just crumbles down right away.
Look at that wall separating Shinku from the rest of the teams. The High Noon comes out from Oakley, does find UMU, so no Immortality Field is going to proc the beat from Strawberry to keep the team sustained. Immortality Field did come out from Hyperion as well, so this is a swingable fight. As the Shatter comes out in response to the Blizzard, the bomb is going to be lobbed by Shinku as well. Doesn't find anything. Big walls coming out from Hyperion, and the bomb is going to come out from Lexi as well, but it goes into the corner there. Lexi looking for the rematch kill, doesn't quite find it onto Strawberry, who was the target there, and Hyperion will be able to use this fight now to start advancing the cart.
Yeah, that was one of the surprisingly one of the longest fights we've had this entire round. The fights are just happening so quickly. Oh, and they see 9.
Oh no!
And they have more than a minute left.
Not able to touch. Yes. So what does that mean? If they have more than a minute remaining, what's that mean for the forces of Hyperion?
I mean, this is so good for Hyperion because that means that regardless, I mean, they're gonna get an attack regardless now. But if on the side of Delta, if they complete the map with 0 time left, then Delta will not get an attack. It's the threshold is 1 minute. So like, let's say if maybe Delta contested there, maybe bought themselves 10 seconds, then the 52 seconds on the clock would actually make a humongous difference because it means that if they full complete King's Row, they automatically get another attack. But that is not the case here. So they're now going to have to play for some.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, Delta thinking to themselves that, you know, they really can't afford to lose this map, right? You're already looking so strong into the series. You've already 2-0'd Hyperion so far. You want to keep collecting those maps from them so that you make every chance at retaking this series for Hyperion harder and harder and harder. And to do that, it looks like we're going to see both teams opting for the same compositions that they were running on their on the last round.
Yeah, absolutely. And here it's good mental fortitude coming out on the side of Hyperion. They go down 2-0 in a pretty dominant fashion. They come out strong on King's Row, get a really good attack actually. You think about 1 minute, it's actually pretty good in the time bank. On this map, especially like you said, it's almost 2 CP on wheels. The final point is just so hard to take. So getting that minute left is crucial. So if you're Hyperion, you gotta be pretty happy with that.
Yeah. Already we're seeing both walls come out from both sides. Freeze trying to come out onto Waffle. Procs the Immortality Field out from UMU. Strawberry's keeping the team sustained as Waffle shield resources are hurting a little bit more than stuff and things. We're going to have a brief disengagement, some respite here for Delta as they look to reevaluate their push. Waffle going in amidst the 2 walls. Immortality Field does finally come out from Hyperion as well, so now Delta's looking pretty good. Nice counter pin from Waffle. Ends up sacrificing stuff and things there. Big play tried to be made by them, but Xvino lighting up the kill feed there, finishing Lissaru with a critical hit. We have an arduous fight here on the objective, an early High Noon from Oakley. Built that really, really quickly. It doesn't find anything though, and the DMAC onto Lexi as Lexi tried to disengage is not going to be good. Look at already Delta has taken this first point, or they're on course to take it, and they're going to have 5 minutes, I think, remaining.
Yeah, Delta coming out saying that last round, that C9, that C9 was just a fluke. That's not gonna define them, and they come out strong. So, I mean, it's a valiant effort by Stuff to try to get that kill onto Waffle. The counterpin by Waffle is good, but in the end of the day, I think the
Oh, and Big immortality fields coming out there as well. Kaiser is going to proc the high noon in the presence of the double amplification matrix, one from both teams there. And now Delta's going to be able to back off. No pick sacrificed at the use of those two ultimates. Wall does come up, separating Waffle from the rest of the team, shielding that up. Oh, Lexi ate the Blizzard. Check that out. The bomb pushed a little bit there by Xvino is going to allow Delta to stay in safety in the bomb. Shinku is going to secure the amplification, I'm sorry, the immortality field, as well as Lexi's mech. Waffle swings the hammer down onto Felix, and with that, Delta's going to clean up this fight here.
Not sure if you saw that Shinko also ate the Blizzard. So we had both divas there eat the opposing Maze Blizzard. So really, Lexi showing that she's a pretty good diva. Shinku showing, yeah, I can do that too. And yeah, I mean, it's a dominant fight coming out. The shatter was good from Waffle. I think it's 2 or 3 there. And yeah, I mean, they're going to be capping this point B with what, I mean, they're going to try to contest. I don't even know if they can, though. They cannot. They have 5 minutes, 30 seconds for point C on King's Row.
I'm a little curious about that wall from the King separating the team from the objective. I don't know if it was the King saying we can't touch or the King trying to mitigate some kind of damage there, but now the King is separated from the rest of the team, has to proc another wall there, and the shatter comes out from, ooh, Stuffin' Thing is getting a big shatter. The Mortality Field does protect the forces of Delta from the high noon from Oakley, but, and now we're going to get a disengagement from them, once again reevaluating this next push that they'll be coming into, but they're going to re-engage right back into it. The Oakley finds you Muse after an aggressive pop of the Amplification Matrix, and the Matrix will come out from the side of the Hyperion as well. Shinku eating the damage that's being sent through it. Waffle fighting here on the objective, but without the sustain that Muse provides, they're going to have to be tentative about their next engagement. Waffle is going to get frozen and taken out of the fight. Kaiser procs the high noon, but gets frozen in the process. That's an important ult that's out of that fight. It'll be back soon, but that means Delta has lost this fight.
Yeah, and this baby Shinku might not even get in his mech. Yeah, he's going to be staying out of it, and it really hurts there to lose Muse first. I think Muse has been absolutely fantastic with his immortality fields thus far throughout the entire series, in this map especially, but he does get picked off there early by Oakley. And yeah, from there, the immortality comes out for Felix Penguin to help out stuff and things, and yeah, the Rhine has the advantage in that matchup.
An early wall from Xvino separates the King off from the fight, opens them up to a Fire Strike elimination. Now no wall for here for Hyperion, but in the Blizzard cast by Xvino is going to freeze 4 frozen, including both of the supports. There's no way to mitigate that. If you're Lissaru with a beat, you are lamenting here for the forces of Hyperion as Delta begins to push the objective into the final territory here.
Yeah, just in case the Blizzard wasn't enough, Waffle gets like a 3-man shadow. They do end up touching now.
No, they won't be able to.
I think it was a good Lucio move. Good job by Strawberry, but both teams just being like a centimeter away from touching on point C, and you gotta be kicking yourself if you're both teams. Actually, I mean, that happened to both of them, but I mean more so if you're Hyperion. You look at the time bake difference. You got almost at a full attack here. You start with 4 minutes on your first attack. You got 3:45 for Delta, and just a measly minute coming out for Hyperion.
Honestly, and especially, I don't know if you guys managed to catch it, but looking at the ultimate economy there for Hyperion, there was never even an opportunity to use some of the ultimates that they had, including the bomb and the Blizzard there from Lexi and the King that we saw light up the kill feed there at the very end, or rather the very beginning of this round setup here. Looks like we do have a pause coming in though, Wild.
Yeah, on the side of Delta, I think they just were there. I think they were laughing themselves a little bit too hard there. That while they C9, you have the team both C9. Maybe need to get a bit of water, but yeah, we do have a pause coming up from Delta. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see something extremely dominant come out here from Hyperion because they need to make a statement here. They have 1 minute left. I mean, Delta has like what 3.5 minutes, almost 4 minutes left. So they've got to come out with something that Delta's not going to expect. They need to at least cap first point in order for them to have a chance, in my opinion, in this map and in this series in general. They're going to go down 3-0 if they lose this map.
And you don't want that, right? In the absolute last match of this tournament of this season 3 of Prospect eSports Showdown, you don't want to lose 4-0, right? That just is not the kind of that's not the kind of downfall that you want if you're Hyperion. So you're absolutely right. It's not so much a miracle that we need to see from them. We just need to see some really good. We need to see some good cleaning in their gameplay here. And like you said, map 1, part of it has to do with the ultimate usage. I'm not sure what the comms sound like here for Hyperion, but maybe they need to be cleaned up, or maybe we just need to commit things when it's time to commit, and back off when it's time to back off here from some of these engagements. We've seen some really big things come out from Hyperion, stuff and things with the triple shatter. Of course, that was mitigated by the immortality field from Ua Muse, which we called out doing really spectacularly there on the Baptiste hero. It's the King has had some really good plays as well. Oakley had potential to get a triple high noon there, and also salvaged the push on the attack for the second point as well with a triple kill. Lissaru with the beats have been really well timed. Not only that, Lissaru has been building the beat in time for some of these offensive ultimates, and so once again, we're seeing good things from both of these teams, but we're just seeing better from Delta.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, the test. So I think that Stuff and Lexi have both. I mean, the whole team of Hyperion. I don't think anybody has looked like specifically bad. I think their whole team has been pretty decent. It's just that Delta has just been better. I mean, there's really no other way to put it. I mean, they've been like Hyperion's been fine, but Delta's just been dominant. They've been better. That's all I can describe it as.
And it looks like I think that we're just waiting on a ready from both these teams, and then we'll be ready to get into this third round here. We are gonna have Hyperion on the attack since they have the lower time bank into this next round. Like you said, we need to see something really dominant from them. We need to see a really clean first push. I mean, essentially, the win condition here, if you're Hyperion, is just capture the first objective, right? You can full hold first point. It's hard, but not impossible. All you need to do is capture the first point and push it as far as you possibly can. Meanwhile, for the side of Delta, their win condition is, you know what, we're going to try and full hold. If we can't, that's no problem. We'll just build up our ultimates and then use all six of our most powerful abilities to force Hyperion off of the objective during the streets phase. And so both of these teams coming into this next map or this next round with pretty clear conditions for victory, right? It's just a matter of which team is going to fulfill it. Yeah, which team is going to fulfill that condition? And Wild, I mean, I think it's going to be Delta.
I think it'll be Delta as well. But yeah, essentially what Hyperion needs to do is just you cannot worry about the other team's time bank. Just completely wipe it out of your memory because the more you think about it, the more you say, "Oh, we have to rush, we have to do this in order to try to match what they're going to do." You never want to think like that. You just want to be okay. We get first point, we go from there. You got to take it step by step because I've been in a ton of games where all people think about where they think, "Oh, we're going to lose. They have so much more time," but we end up winning in the end because we are able to just slowly and periodically go through the map using ultimates well. And yeah, the most important thing for Hyperion is just to stay calm. But I agree with you. I think that the way this series has looked so far, Delta is a pretty composed team. I think they'll make the right decisions here. And I mean, who knows? They might even get a full hold.
And the sage wisdom here coming out from Wild for all those of you who are watching. Be sure to take notes. I see a pretty sizable viewer count. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wild, I just love what you mentioned about the mental there. Right, we are wanting to win. We do want to emerge victorious in this series, but more importantly, we're here to play the game. Right, so that's the strategy here for Hyperion. You're absolutely right. It's not to worry about the other factors, the environmental things that we have no control over. It's just cleaning up our gameplay and making sure that we do what it takes to come out on top of this particular map, right? Because that's all that matters right now. We just want to win King's Row for Hyperion so that we can get onto the next mode, our escort map, and then from there, possibly start swinging the series with our next control map after that, if this series does go that distance, which, like I said, between you and me, Wild, I'm absolutely hoping it does.
Me as well, because I think it possibly can too. Because Hyperion so far, we've seen the greatness. We've seen what they can do. We've seen them compete here with Delta, especially on this map. They looked pretty decent on this map. So I think it can go all the way as well. But the most important thing, you got to take it one step at a time. You can't think,
Mhm.
oh wait, we're down 2-0. If we lose this, it's over. You can't be thinking that, oh, they have one more time than us. That's absolutely the worst thing to think. Mental game is so important in Overwatch, and I mean
Uh,
in all games to be honest. But
yeah,
mental is just so important here. So let's
I,
hope the Hyperion's taking this break that from Delta, kind of just like to get regrouped, to kind of hype each other up, maybe to like get ready, get prepared.
I think I need you on retainer Wild for some of my competitive games where my mental starts fracturing. I think I'm just going to hit you up and be like, all right, Wild, pump me up for this next game. And I think Hyperion is kind of needs you as well. Although their coaching staff and everyone in on the team itself is probably resonating some of the same sentiments that you've just shared with us. So all that being said, right, the mental game is one thing, but the actual game, that's the other half of it, right? Because it really does only constitute a small amount of this game, right? Where where just so much of the game actually happens in our own heads there. And so, my question to you is, do you think that we're going to see the same rush style based compositions from both of these teams?
Oh, okay. I think we will. I personally think that especially Delta is going to be running Orion Diva, and I probably think the Hyperion will as well. Unless Hyperion maybe wants to go something crazy to catch him off guard, which is very possible because a lot of times if you find yourself in these kind of bad situations, you kind of just want to go cheese, and we'll see if they do that. But I think we do have an R. I think from we do okay. We only have an R from one team, so yeah, we have the person that was on Delta having some kind of problems is good. We're just gonna be waiting here on Hyperion. Hopefully they're hyped up, ready to go, and they've got a strategy they wanna just nail.
Actually wild. I think it's less like they're having any technical issues. The chat is lighting up. Snake just flaming Shinku right now for allegedly making dinner in the middle of a match. This man preparing himself a feast. Maka says in the chat, which is comical to me. Um, uh, and oh, with that we
Ready for
unpause.
battle.
At long last, you guys can stop listening to us and start watching some gameplay. And it's gonna start with the formation of these compositions here, and we are gonna see this rush style based composition here for both of these teams. Wild.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah, Shinku after that round he's getting a bit hungry. I mean, he already ate the blizzard, but that wasn't enough, so had to go get some more food. I think just maybe wasn't really like hyped and prepared. Needed that energy boost just to go up 3-0 in the series because Shinko so far, I mean both Lexi and Shinko looked really good, but it's really just been a back and forth between them that's been kind of an interesting.
Yeah, we've seen the Diva duel kind of happen in all of these maps so far, and actually Lexi will opt for the Sigma over the Diva, the King taking on the Bastion, and Oakley on the Sim. So you mentioned some cheese, you're gonna get it Wild as we go into our
Oh
first
my!
round.
What is,
There we
okay.
go. The shield on top of the tower here, on top of the statue. The King raining down damage from above. Lissaru amplifying that damage and keeping the King topped up. It's gonna force Delta to wrap around the hotel and play out of line of sight there. Might be time for a reposition here from the King. It does come as the wall comes up from Delta. It's stuffing things is going to go out of this fight. Immortality is a little bit late from Felix Penguin here, and it looks like Delta's won this fight.
Okay, so I have never seen that in my life. I've seen Bash and TMDB, but I've never seen them go on top of his head. But
The spectacle.
yeah, I mean, yeah, we're in a pretty dire situation here. I mean, Doom is the King probably has to touch with his Doom is on the point. They've got about 10 seconds left. They're going into a window and a high noon. It's gonna be so tough for Hyperion.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Stuffing, holding that barrier. The King actually ends up getting caught out by Kaiser. Kaiser using the amplification matrix to find stuffing things, and now Lexi as well. Kaiser is popping off. It's a linchpin to success here for the Delta squad as Kaiser does whatever he wants, and as the wall comes up from Hyperion, it's not going to be enough. Waffle is swinging onto the hapless forces of Hyperion there. Lissaru brings Oakley back in the fight, and Oakley says, "Why did you bring me back to die?" We do have a recontest, a re-engagement here from the King, who ends up falling and stuffing things, tries to touch on the wrecking ball, but won't be able to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Delta's has been so good at dealing with the aggression coming in from stuff. I mean, the May walls from Xvino, the Immortality fields, just kind of like to like allow their Ryan to get healed back up and go back in. Yeah, I mean, stuff is playing very, very aggressive, and I think that Delta's kind of realized that they're playing around it very well. And I think that's what won the round because, yeah, I believe he was the first pick there. But it's
Yeah.
like I said, if you have a minute left, sometimes you want to bring out the cheese because you feel like maybe a regular composition is not going to work. And we do see this in Bastion, probably one of the strangest positioning I've ever seen. It almost worked, but unfortunately, Hyperion's going to have to
Ready for battle.
play out almost.
And say that one more time, Wild. We're getting a little bit of lag from you.
All right. I was saying that, I mean, yeah, like I said, a bit of cheese coming out when you're in a tough situation, and they're punishing the aggressive stuff pretty well, despite with the May walls and the Immortality fields coming out from UMUs perfectly to save Waffle. But yeah, and now Hyperion has to play for a draw, and they're gonna have to do it and hold for nearly 4 minutes just for a draw. And I know firsthand how demoralizing.
Yeah, that's so hard. Like I said earlier, it's possible. It's not impossible. It is a very challenging endeavor, and Hyperion opting for an interesting composition here. The teleporting bastion strat above the high ground behind the objective, and to the left of the objective here, as we have the forces of Delta engage here. They know to play around and rotate around this bastion. So I think that we're going to get a connection of the objective there. We're going to see the King teleport here. The wall coming up, blocking off the teleporter actually. And already the only ones who can contest are Oakley and Stuffin Things. Oakley ends up going down to Kaiser. Stuffin Things basically has no barrier, goes down to Kaiser as well. And now Delta's looking pretty good into this engagement. I think that we're going to see a possible res or an attempt at it from Lissaru. Yeah, trying to bring someone back into the fight, but it's not enough. There's no presence. There's no way that Lissaru could have gotten that res off.
Yeah, I mean, great job by Delta there. They played around that bastion perfectly, just kind of moving back and forth around the teleports. Good job by them. And yeah, I mean, it's looking a bit grim here for Hyperion. We see Delta go up 3-0, and they are just a single map away here. This is a great shatter coming out from Waffle. The Blizzard also catches 4, but we're in a position where Delta is a single map away from just being our Intermediate Division Season 3 champions, and Hyperion still has a pretty long ways to go.
Yeah, and I mean, every map now from here on out is match point. The series is first to 4, and these teams are competing for the #1 seed of this entire tournament so far. They're looking to get those bragging rights. They're looking. I think they've already secured themselves in the Prospect Esports Hall of Fame, but they're definitely looking for that championship title for. I think this is season 3 of Prospect Esports Showdown. So you know it's not everything at stake, but there's a lot at stake here for Hyperion, and so you're absolutely right. But we do need to see some changes from them. We don't want this to be a 4-0. They don't want it to be a 4-0, and hopefully they have a plan going into our next map mode, which is Escort. Is that right?
Yes, it is Escort, and I see in this game chat a couple people on the side of on Hyperion losing a bit of hope. Don't you dare lose hope, Hyperion. What are you doing? Don't give up now. I'm seeing some of these people on the side of Hyperion maybe being a little bit down, but we are going to be going to a halftime right now. Maybe this is time for them to get their energy back, and yeah, their coaching staff's got to do some wonders right now because yeah, they're going to need a little bit of hyping up. I see some people in the chat talking a little bit negatively.
Yeah, and while we get all that sorted out, I think that we are going to be going into a brief break here. Be sure. I think it'll only be about 5 minutes or so. Are we going
Yeah,
right into it?
just I think it's just about 5 minutes. I'm just setting up. The pick was real till
Oh, nice.
Hyperion's already picked. We are going to be going into a 5-minute halftime.
Fantastic. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the
match here for our intermediate division, taking place between Delta and Hyperion. And really, the first thing that I got to break down here for us is during the break, we did have some substitutions coming in for Hyperion. Jesus Freak and Optic are now in. Lexi and Stuff and Things are out. So an entirely new tank lineup. We're gonna have Dark Ember in for the King as well, maintaining a similar support, the same support duo, but for the most part, changing up the entire team. Wild, is this the ace in the hole? Is this a move of desperation, perhaps, from Hyperion? What's your take on this?
I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure what's going through their heads. I mean, we have ours from both teams. So we're going to be hopping into the map, but I mean, it might just be a different look. They might play the same heroes. Maybe they have a different play style, but maybe this was planned all along. Maybe they were planning to kind of sub these guys in after time anyway. But yeah, we're gonna be seeing a completely new tank lineup. I'm hoping to see maybe a different kind of playstyle, maybe a less aggressive playstyle, because maybe let Oakley go to work in the McCree. He's looked pretty good on that so far. So maybe play a more methodical, slow style around him instead of playing more aggressive around Stuff. But yeah, we'll have to see what they're gonna roll out here.
Yeah, and as we do roll into this match, be sure to cast your predictions in the chat for who you think is going to win this map. Is it going to be a 4-0 clean sweep from Delta, or does Hyperion have a fighting chance? And it looks like to have that chance, we're going to see a pretty interesting composition coming out from them. Unless Optic is baiting me, we're going to be seeing a Roadhog in the tank lineup. Oakley and Dark Ember on the Widow, the Genji, Felix on Ana, Lissaru on Mercy. An interesting composition coming out from Delta as well. A little bit more poke based, and Jesus Freak on the Wrecking Ball. Oh wow, this is going to be an interesting map.
Yeah, they're both running what I like to call chaos comps. Some like comps that really aren't as like structured as a Rein Zarya, Rein Diva, or as like a Winston dive. More kind of just individuals making plays against other individuals. So we're looking at to see if this Jesus Freak ball can create enough like chaos here for this Oakley Widow and Dark Ember's gonna be playing for that Nano Blade as well. So we're gonna have to see kind of both like chaos styles, seeing like which one will be more effective on Rialto.
I mean, and we already saw Waffle take just copious amounts of damage there, and Dark Ember looking for an early elimination onto Kaiser as well. Hooked off the high ground, Shinku is going to fall, and although Waffle finds Felix and Lissaru is out of the fight, the cart will advance past this first corner. I think that this team fight is effectively over. Without supports here for Hyperion, they're going to be in a tough spot here, but it looks like they're still pushing. No, they have to stop. Kaiser has found Dark Ember, and now we're going to have a reset.
Yeah, and my eyes here are really going to be on Oakley. Can Oakley shut down this X-Vino Strawberry Pharmacy? And said so far, he has looked pretty dang good on the McCree. So you haven't seen him on Widow yet, but both are hit scan. Yeah, I think this game is going to be a little bit slightly in Oakley's hand to see if he can find a way to shut down this Pharah effectively, as he almost goes down there to a body shot actually.
Yeah, and we will have our re-engagement onto the high ground here from Dark Ember, looking to poke down Shinku, get that barrier out, actually dives towards Waffle, who's coming up close on the whole hog. Gonna have to watch out for that. Rock from Shinku doesn't quite connect to anyone, and the tanks here for Hyperion are just kind of playing the choke as Felix goes down to the concussion blast from X-Vino, an environmental elimination, eliminating the support from the fight. Waffle following up with a whole hog kill onto Jesus and Optic. X-Vino launching the barrage into the sky, trying to get Lissaru, who gets hooked by Waffle. What an interesting for barrage from X-Vino.
But he goes down there. I mean, and they never rest for it. They just rest Kaiser. So X out of this fight. Maybe a little BM barrage from X-Vino because he has been dominating on that Pharah so far, but he will be out of this fight as long as Hyperion takes it quickly. And they have the Hoggle. They're going to have a Nano Blade as well, going into no defensive ult on the side of Delta. So let's see. The eyes are on Dark Ember here. The eyes are on Dark Ember and Felix. See if they can get anything out of this Nano Blade.
Yeah, then that's going to be their win condition, but as the Gravitic Flux comes out, there's no defensive ult to mitigate it. Felix is actually going to end up going down, and in the presence of the Dragons, it's going to be a tough push here for Hyperion. Shinku finds Dark Ember as well, and Waffle gets 2 kills in the backline. Oakley and Optic going down. Muse finds the final blow onto Jesus Freak, and look at this time bank, 1:40 remaining here for Hyperion.
They nanoed.
No, they didn't. They did.
And they did nano with Dark Ember still at this blade. I mean, this Nano Blade is kind of their win condition here. And I actually didn't catch who they nano, but it's going to be bad. I mean, they're going to have a Valk Blade, so this Valk's going to be on it, but let's see if we can get anything.
Yeah, Valkyrie does tether onto Dark Emperor. That beam is going to sever here if it's spent too long between walls. The blade actually doesn't have finding anything, and Xvino is pelting Dark Emperor with damage here. The Reflect has come out, and Optic did find the mirror matchup in Waffle, but now brought back into the fight by Strawberry. Waffle's going to be free to rain the damage into the mag lines. I mean, Purple onto Shinku might do enough to start thwarting this defense, but no, Kaiser comes in with a Dragon, says no healing here for Hyperion. Takes Lissaru out of the fight as Felix goes down as well, and the rest is just cleanup from Delta.
I mean, in Oakley on this Widow has not been doing too hot, to be honest, Heal the Pharmacy, but he's going to be going to a Tracer here, maybe for more of a flank style, maybe for playing for more picks on the back line.
Yeah, getting you Muse or Strawberry out of the fight early would be ideal. Dark Ember is still pocketed, if you will, by Lissaru. Is tethered onto him. A good anti-nade onto them is going to slow them down a little bit, and Xvino comes up with a barrage, gets Jesus Freak, and follows up with an elimination onto Oakley. Optic is hooked out of the fight by Waffle, and it's just Lissaru and Dark Ember here on the Mercy Genji. It's just, I don't know that their focus needs to be in the backlines here of Delta. Nano Boost does go into Dark Ember, it has the blade, is going to pop it, does find Kaiser, it does find Muse, is looking for a third onto Shinku, does connect that, and Waffle gets Alyssa out of the fight, but the damage is already done here onto Delta. Hyperion is going to be able to start pushing this cart around the corner, but Wild, will they be able to capture the first point?
I think they can. They have this Roadhog ult if they need to push people off. And Strawberry, especially with Strawberry dying really late there, I think they're going to be able to cap this, but finally that Nano Blade coming out, really the condition that they're playing for, kind of messed. Oh, they are going to be going for engage. The Sigma Flux comes out, does get a couple, but oh my goodness, gets the honest pit actually beat.
Felix is gone, Jesus Freak is gone, Optic did find Shinku out of the fight, but now we have Reinhardt, Waffle connecting to the objective, Pulse Bomb does come out,
huge
Muse to kill it, secures that elimination, Oakley might be clutching it out, and Optic went for the hook on a Mercy, Kaiser goes down as well, Waffle is out, Shinku is brought back into the fight though by Strawberry with the Valkyrie, so it's just an arduous fight here on the objective that could go either way at this point. We've seen good things from Delta, and they're sustaining really well, but as Dark Ember whips out the blade again, it's gonna find Shinku and Strawberry out, and finally, after so long and so many resources, Hyperion will capture the first point.
That was too close. That was simply too close, Ethan. I mean, to be fair, Delta really shouldn't have even been close to testing that fight. They only had the Flux there. The Ana does go down. I don't know if that's miscommunication between maybe Liss and Felix, but the Ana goes down, which is massive. But like you said, Oakley and Dark Ember 2, both, especially Oakley though, just coming in clutch on the DPS, putting in a lot of damage. The full stun kill onto the other team's Ana was massive, so they are going to be able. Their hope of winning.
Oh, the nano boost on the Waffle might be enough to clean up this fight. Finds Optic out of the fight, and it's go time here for Delta. Gets Jesus Freak as well. This is going to be a disengagement here, but the Pulse Bomb does come out from Oakley onto Shinku and Kaiser. Look at that, Oakley popping off, doing more than is needed here for Hyperion. They're down tanks, and Felix goes down because of it, but the damage here is still strong from Dark Ember and Oakley. Just poking and prodding at Waffle, trying to get those resources out of the fight. Meanwhile, the tanks here for Hyperion have re-engaged onto the objective. Oh, but a sleep on Oakley.
Sleep.
You saw that. You saw that, Wild.
I absolutely did. Big sleep from Yumi to just kind of shut him down. However, the Nano Blade is going to be coming up very soon on the side of Hyperion, so we'll look out for that for this next fight.
Yeah, and Optic using the Whole Hog, really just to buy space here on the objective. Hyperion has made good use of their time bank and the amount of space that they have. They're going to be able to start pushing around this last corner here, but the Gravitic Flux from Shinku might catch them out. Felix Penguin goes down, and Xvino finds two, including Lissaru with the Pulse Bomb. Delta's going to be able to clean up this fight really quickly.
Yeah, so we look on the side of Delta. They're gonna have a Nano Blade of their own. So Kaiser and Yumu's looking to fight back against Dark Ember and Felix. So this next fight might just be a battle of who's gonna be able to get a better Nano Blade. I mean, the Flux is up for Jesus, so maybe he fluxes that Nano Blade to allow Dark Ember to get more with his. We're gonna have to see how this fight goes.
Maybe Nano Blade does come out from Kaiser. It doesn't quite find anything. Oh, it does find Jesus Freak, who goes in, dashes onto Felix as well. Pin comes out from Waffle onto Optic. So Delta has cleaned up this fight as really, really well, and only at the expense of Nano Blade. But look at this, only 9 seconds to touch, and we're still sitting on ultimates here for Hyperion. We do have a connection to the objective and of a Pulse Bomb onto Strawberry there, but it's only Lissaru and Oakley. Oakley succumbs to the Shatter, and Lissaru, it was the final blow onto them. The Blade does come out from Dark Ember, a stun from Shinku. Shinku does stop them, and the Flux does come out, lifting Kaiser into the air. Nano onto Dark Emperor, still keeping them sustained in this fight. It could go either way at this point. Wild, an anti-nade onto Shinku, denied healing briefly. Felix Penguin is still out in the open. It's going to be susceptible to the damage there. Ends up getting caught out by Shinku on the high ground. Strawberry is just keeping them sustained in this fight. Jesus connects to the cart and is going to be kept up by Listeru on the Mercy, but the beat comes out for Delta, and the reinforcements are inbound as well. It looks like, oh, Jesus Freak is going to get separated and goes down in the process. Listeru is going to be looking for that revive, and as the Pulse Bomb comes out, Xvino is the one who gets picked by their own Pulse Bomb. Dark Emperor is now on the Doom, is trying to make something work, but Kaiser is the one making things happen. 3 picks onto both of the supports, including Dark Emperor, a melee finish onto there, and it's going to force Optic onto the ball. Won't be able to stall for long, though. Another shatter out from Waffle. Isn't going to quite connect onto anyone, but Oakley will eventually fall. What a long team fight, and for no progress on that objective towards second point for Hyperion.
Oh, that's just so frustrating if you're Hyperion, because you see it all the time. I mean, at about 15 seconds left, everyone just holds their ults, and it's so
Initiating match.
tragic because I mean, Jesus Freak had the Sigma Flux, and the Nanoblade comes out. The Genji didn't get a dash reset. It would have been a massive Flux. Probably could have saved them that entire fight, but he just opts to hold on to it. And while they do get a longer fight, sure, it's more of kind of just a stall. So it was just tragic there. I mean, if you're Hyperion there, you had to use your ults earlier. I mean, that was their fatal flaw there. There's something else to say about that. I mean, it was a good effort, a good job by Jesus Freak and Oakley to kind of come back in the fight. So Oakley on the Tracer, which is really kind of a pest back there, kind of getting a lot of actually chip damage and kills. But at the end of the day, I mean, they've just gotta use those ultimates earlier. That kind of cost them that round, or at least that point.
Attackers incoming in 30
Yeah,
seconds.
and now we're gonna see we hopefully see a worthy hold from Hyperion. We do have a pause coming in. Looks like it was requested. There's some aggression in the match chat here towards, I think, one of the members of Delta. A second TV dinner.
Probably, I believe his dinner is done in the oven. And he's going to go grab it. I legitimately think that's why he's leaving. But I mean, oh, okay. And then we have Xvino kind of throwing some shade, saying that Shinku is a bit slow and doesn't really know how to cook it correctly. So that's why he's having to go, because something's happened. But yeah, I have the reason for this pause is most likely related to food.
Yeah, but it does give us an opportunity to talk about the composition that we're going to be seeing, the defensive comp from Hyperion. Remember, this is match point. They've got to make something work here, and they're going to be relying on a Tor Bastion in order to do it. Felix Penguin and Listeru are really just like, look, whatever we need to do on the support role, like, let's just do that. So we're going to be seeing big heals from Felix and in big damage amplification from Listeru, and the double shield as well from Jesus Freaking Optic is particularly interesting to me.
Yeah, really, again, going with kind of a cheesy comp. I mean, their goal here might just be to delay as much time off the clock as possible, because they're going for this forward hold. Okay, I actually do like this on the side of Hyperion, because if they even get a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes off the clock here, this forward hold could have been worth it. So we're going to have to see how it's going to be executed, because I've never seen one on this map with a Bastion. So we're really going to have to see how Dark Ember can do on this Bastion.
And the fight is already kind of broken out. Looks like we're going to get some swaps here from Delta. Yeah, Waffle's going to go from Winston onto Reinhardt, Kaiser onto the Crease, Strawberry onto Lucio. So they're going to be running this rush comp. Jesus Freak actually gets stunned there, and the Immortality Field is going to protect Delta on the objective as they engage. Dark Ember ends up succumbing to the damage from Xvino and Muse, but is brought back into the fight by Listeru. Delta, how do you let that res just happen right in front of you? But the move from Strawberry is big, gets Dark Ember out of the fight, and Shinku follows up with elimination onto Jesus Freak. Now suffering for point presence.
Oh,
what? Strawberry!
I was just watching from above, and I saw that Bastion get res, and I was thinking the exact same thing as you. And I was like, okay, how did Delta just allow that to happen? And then immediately I just see him get boobs on the map, and I'm like, oh no, this is not good. We have Dark Ember going over to the Doomfist, by the way, which they did play a little bit on Volskaya, so the Bastion no longer going to be in play.
And Oakley is still in the Torbjorn here, which that might swap as well. I think that we might need. The stun. The Amplification Matrix might be all that we need for this fight. The Fire Strike does find UMUs, which is really bad. Toss the Immortality Field, but now out of heals, Delta's going to be suffering a little bit. Strawberry procs the beat in order to keep the team sustained. The Molten Core comes out, but the grab and response from Shinku is even bigger than the core, and it looks like Xvino is going to be using it to clean up this fight.
Yeah, I mean, I like the idea there on the side if Hyperion go aggressive because you get the Fire Strike kill onto the BAP, but beat from Strawberry is nearly perfect. I mean, Strawberry's kind of been popping off on the. I mean, Hyperion's in a really tough spot. I mean, they have to hold point B for nearly 5 minutes here, and that's just such a tough ask. I mean, it's hard to hold this point in general, but for 5 minutes, it's gonna be tough, especially with User Freak going down early like that.
Yeah, and look at these ultimates. The Death Blossom already coming out from Xvino, the Gravitic Flux and response from Optic, and the High Noon from Kaiser. It looks like, oh man, the DPS for Delta are going to be able to get value out of those ultimates. Darkhammer did find Xvino after the Death Blossom, but it's really not going to yield much of a stabilization here for Hyperion. They're still going to have to wait while Delta takes, yet again, this kind of forward hold here.
Yeah, and oh, okay, that's a good start. Okay, I mean that's still a decent trade-off. I mean, Lucy gets back pretty fast, but so does Dark Ember. So a decent trade-off to start the fight, but it's really going to be on. He has the ultimate, and let's see if they can avoid this window.
Yeah, Oakley's going to have to be really careful with that, and the hook on the Shinku is going to bring them up into the air, leave them at half HP. Amplification Matrix cast by Felix Penguin might be able to get a little bit of value in this Dark Ember. Ooh, Waffle goes down, and as Dark Ember re-engages into the fight, it looks like Hyperion is going to remain strong in this fight here, but the payload is so close to the objective. Yeah, it's just a matter of cleaning up here for Hyperion. UMUs is staying on this cart for a long time, though. Look at that.
I like this on Hyperion. It probably would have been pretty easy for them for here to just throw in the towel. It's extremely tough ask. But we see them. They come back. They come back with some vigor. They avoid the window, and yeah, I mean we have this pharmacy with the barrage. So I'm maybe looking at Oakley personally for this next fight to see if he can get this barrage without dying to Kaiser.
Yeah, and Dark Ember as well with the Meteor Strike. In the same way that Delta got really good value out of their DPS ultimates, we're looking for a similar caliber of value here from Hyperion. They're going to get a little bit distracted here, it seems, though. I thought I saw Xvino in the backlines for Hyperion, but not too much of a distraction there. Meteor Strike does come out from Dark Ember. I don't think it secures anything. And the Shatter from Jesus Freak is pretty big, but the grab is bigger from Shinku. Traps 3 members of Hyperion. Oh! The boop the boop canceled the resurrect from Lissaru. And Wild, I think that this might be last teamfight territory. This is going to be it.
Yeah, I mean the ball and Tracer will be able. I mean the ball just gets melted by this window, and the hack on the Tracer.
Oh,
yeah, this
man.
is going to be the series right here.
Yep, that is it.
Your season 3 champions of the intermediate division is Delta.
Congratulations to them on a hard-fought match. Or, maybe not so hard-fought. It was relatively decisive here between these two teams, but definitely a long season, a really well-played season. Here we see play of the game going to Strawberry. I saw at one point there's some BM in the chat. Finally, Strawberry's doing something right. Well, hell yeah, Strawberry's doing something right. Look at that triple kill and a triple environmental kill and that one push there. Just really well played by Delta today. They've been clean pretty much all season, and now I think as we begin to wrap up this this series, I think we'll be going into our votes for our MVP. So coming up first is going to be our vote for MVP for Delta. I think that our options there are going to be Waffle, Kaiser, and it'll be either Strawberry or UMUs. Both of those supports have done big things this particular series. Wild, which of the supports would you nominate for MVP?
I mean, I would nominate UMUs, but I actually was probably going to give MVP. If I had to vote, it'd be Xvino. I thought Xvino had an insanely good series, and if I was going to vote, it would definitely be for him. But yeah, my candidates would be Waffle, Xvino, and UMUs. But yeah, out of Strawberry and UMUs, definitely him because I think he played great. His immortality fields were just amazing throughout the entire block. And I mean, the support line was very strong throughout the entire one. I mean, all of Delta was very strong, clearly, because it was a pretty clean 4-0 sweep
4-0.
there.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah, and Waffle just creating tons of space on the main tank role. Shinku backing them up on the off tank was really solid as well. I think it is kind of a tough one between Kaiser and Xvino. Xvino definitely displayed a great versatility on the DPS role. They were flexible, really regardless of which hero they played. They did well on it. But definitely Kaiser on this Kree was highly influential, especially in some of these rush based compositions. And Xvino, of course, on the May as well, since May is part of part of the key for rush comp, especially slowing down an enemy rush comp, is going to be pretty important. So I agree, it's a tough call between Xvino and Kaiser. Ultimately, I think it's up to our producer here. So cast your votes. Who is our MVP for Delta? We'll hopefully be lucky enough to bring them in for an interview. And while that begins to wrap up, I want to talk about MVP for Hyperion as well. The ones that I was watching, at least for most of the series, were stuff and things, Lexi and Lissaru. I really liked seeing the King play. I really liked seeing the DPS here for Hyperion. It just ultimately, I think that the pace of the game was controlled by, well, it was controlled by Delta, but at least Lexi and stuff and things were doing just absolutely so much to try and control what they could from this pace of the game. And I think that they showed us that they really have what it takes to make for a really good tank lineup.
Yeah, I agree. For me, I would give it to Oakley because I think Oakley was probably the only person that consistently kept up with the DPS on Delta with his counterparts. I thought that while the tank supports, I thought everyone on Hyperion was fine. At times they were just lagging behind. I thought that Oakley really was probably the only person, in my opinion, that was able to keep up for the most part. But
Mhm.
my second pick would definitely be Lexi because I feel like Lexi and stuff kind of along with it, they were very competitive on the tank role.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you said, we saw some really big plays from Oakley as well. We talked a little bit about how they salvaged that second point push on Kings Row. And unfortunately, just I think that the supports were just a little bit behind on the program. We lost Felix too many times in some of these early fights. But we did see some fight in Lissaru, whether it was on the Mercy or the Lucio. So absolutely. Looks like our MVP for Delta has been selected. You guys voted that it was Muse, so hopefully we should be able to get
Mm,
them in for a
that
brief
is a good
interview.
pick.
Yeah, Muse was just doing really good on the support role this evening. Especially being a support player myself, just it's not even one of those things that we were necessarily watching for. It's just one of those things that I notice as a support player. I notice the good lamps, I notice the good anti nades, of which there were many. I noticed the good nanos, the just everything that was done by UMUs was really good. But our votes are also being cast here for MVP of Hyperion, so be sure to tune into that poll as well. Want to hear what you guys' thoughts. And that being said, we do have you Amuse here with us now. You Amuse, how you doing?
Oh,
How you
what's
feeling about
up?
the game?
I felt great about it. I was playing some of my best support I've ever played in my life in that
You
Okay.
game.
looked good.
Yeah,
You
I'm
looked
not
pretty
joking.
good, man. You were looking great.
Yeah, I mean, there's always stuff to improve on, but I'm proud of my game. I'm proud of it. I think I played pretty well
As well, you
along
should
with my
be.
team.
The support role is an important one, especially in these rush-based compositions. We kind of select the heroes that we play based on what our tanks select, what our tanks are wanting to play. And we got to see a little bit of insight into that. You played Baptiste and Ana a lot this evening. Which of those
Mhm.
two heroes is your favorite to play?
All right, Bab's kind of broken. I'm gonna be honest. So I feel
True,
kind of
true.
bad playing him, right? And he gets out on a stupid amount of heals.
Yeah, yeah.
And and you don't really do anything too cool unless you're like Violet, right? And you're not getting 4
Hmm.
kills. So I gotta
Yeah.
say, Ana's the better character. I can sleep people like out of air.
Mhm.
Tracer coming up on me, sleep her, get a fat anti. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just more fun to play Ana in
Did have a
general. But
you did have a really nice sleep onto Oakley there on Rialto. Oakley playing the Tracer there. And I feel you as a Zenyatta player myself, kind of stuck in Baptiste Gel currently. We're like all this mechanical skill that we've got playing Zenyatta and Ana, and it's just all nullified by one button, Baptista Immortality Field, and you had some really good
Yeah.
ones this evening as well. So my next question for you would be: is that kind of helping to determine the pace at which you guys play, or is it really just is it you kind of calling when to push or when to pull back? Is it the whole team kind of communicating as a whole? Who's really responsible for how quickly or how slowly you guys are playing the game?
Well, I think it's a team effort mostly. Like we have a Doom. We'll see Kings Row. We have a Doom set up. He calls for us to push in, and my team kind of just expects an Immor when for the right moment, right? And
Hmm.
if that's not out there, then I'm not doing my job, and it's not good. So I'd say as a team, you'll have like Doom call, Ryan calls targets, he'll call for pushes, I call for backups every once in a while. It's a team effort, you know. It's a team game.
Yeah, absolutely. Wild, do you have any questions?
I mean, I think I only have one more. It's like, how do you feel? I mean, you guys are the champions, right? I mean, how does it feel?
It feels really good. I mean, I was stressing over this match all week, right? I not performing well, and then right out as tonight, I just bring it out, right? The entire week I'm not playing my best, and then today it comes out. So it really shows how things changed on the night of the game. But I'm proud of it. I like to see it. We worked pretty hard over the past month or two, I think it was, and it paid off.
Yeah, I mean, you guys certainly looked great out there, and you certainly deserve it. And you showed up when it mattered, so that's really, I
Yeah.
mean, that's really all that matters, right? You showed up in the big game and you played well. So that's all the questions I have, Ethan. What about you?
No, that's it from me. Just a hearty congratulations from myself, from the rest of us here in the casting booth tonight. To you, to you Amuse, and to the
Hmm.
rest of Delta as well. You guys played super clean tonight. It was absolutely
Thank
spectacular
you.
watch. Congratulations on your season 3 champions of the intermediate division title. And as we get into season 4, and I think we got a goats tournament coming up this summer as well. I'm going to be very excited to continue watching you play.
Thank you. It was very fun. Great announcing today, by the way.
Thanks so
I
much.
loved it. Best announcing I've heard. Sorry to, anyone else, Lindsay or Kelly,
Ooh,
but that's you can't
thank you
beat it.
though.
I mean, look, Wild just he dominates the casting booth. It's fantastic to cast
I
with him.
mean, so does
It's
Ethan, to be
it's always a
honest.
team effort between the two of us. Just like you said, it's a team game. It's a team here behind production. Nikki does great. Lindsay, I mean, it's credit goes to everyone. But thank you, you Amuse. You
Yeah,
guys are great, and you have a great night.
yeah, and pass on to Linza Rue over here, Liza Rue.
Oh yeah,
Listen,
That
Rue, yes.
you have a message. You have a message for her.
Hyperion. I mean, like we beat him 4-0, but I'd say they're definitely the most improved team, right? We started out
Hmm.
beginning of the season,
Oh,
and Hyperion, yeah, we 3-0'd, but like honestly, big improvement since the end of the season. Like I
That's
haven't
awesome.
seen that from any other
they're
team.
actually here, so you can tell them yourself.
Lizaru, big
Lis-
improvement on your team's part.
oh, thanks.
Yep.
Please call me Liss. It's Lissaru,
List.
and this is
Oh, okay. I don't
it's
know.
not just prospect, but it's a freaking problem. So for all
Oh,
tournament people, my
Everybody
name is
gets it wrong.
Liss.
Listen, Rue.
Lissaru.
Yes, Lish.
well, you guys improved a lot since we first met you in
Well,
playoffs.
thanks so much. It was good to have another face off.
Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun this time. Well, I'm gonna head out. You can interview Liz over here, right? Liz, I say that right?
Lish.
Yes, yeah,
Liz?
that works.
Okay. Okay.
That was
Yeah,
close.
great.
I'll take it.
Close enough. Bye. It's fun.
All right, thank you so
Have a
much,
good night,
Emus.
you Amuse.
Congratulations.
Oh wait, are we not in interview? Because I thought we were, and I didn't want to say anything.
No,
No, we
we
can.
are. No, this is going
Yeah, we
smoothly.
are. We're sorry. We were. I mean, we were basically done anyway. He was just telling us like a message he wanted to pass on to you, but you got to tell it to you to your face. So that's good.
That's fair. Thank you.
So Listener, thanks for swinging by. You were voted MVP for Hyperion. At one point, there were actually several instances where me and Wild were watching you on the support role and just saying you were keeping up with the pace of the game really well. You were usually responsive with your sound barriers for the offensive abilities, the ultimates that were coming out from Delta. You were keeping up with the support lineup for Delta as well. And of course, on the Mercy, you got away with some pretty insane resurrects. We saw a lot of Mercy Lucio tonight. Which of those heroes is your favorite to play?
If we're talking in terms of what I'm best at, it's definitely Mercy. But between Mercy and Lucio, I enjoy Lucio. He just has a very high skill cap, so I've been working a lot with Lucio, trying to get better with wall riding and movement, and making myself sneakier and harder to catch. So it's a process.
Yeah, and Lucio is one of those heroes that I always felt. But when I started learning him, it takes just like 100% of my brain power. But then you start to get into a rhythm. You start to develop your own play style, and that's always a lot of fun. So I'm absolutely thrilled that we got to see some of that Lucio play style emerging from you this evening. It was definitely a difficult loss tonight. You guys are still number two. Finalists here in this season, and like you and Muse had said, you guys really, at least from his perspective, you guys were really one of the most improved teams. How was the experience kind of being a part of this thing, which is bigger than just yourself, being a part of the growth of the team, and how did that all kind of culminate into tonight's match?
Yeah, that's actually my favorite part, being a part of a team where we grow and improve. I've been in this team that kind of merged with another team in GGNA a while back from low gold. So we're working our way up and we're always improving and trying to get things better.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the fun things about being on a team is that it's not only you improving like we would find in like a solo queue ranked environment, right? It's everyone improving as a team. It's everyone kind of experiencing how we all play. So that being said, are you and your team, you guys are going to be in the GOATS tournament or season 4 of Prospect Esports? Any plans on that?
We definitely are going to keep joining tournaments. I'm assuming we will be joining Prospect. I have no idea about the GOATS tournament, but that sounds fun. If I could get our teams join.
I would love to see you guys play in the GOATS tournament. That would be a lot of fun. You'd probably play Lucio, right?
I would probably play Brig.
Okay,
Mm.
gotcha. The highest
Yeah.
skill support hero, of course.
Yeah, I guess. I've played a lot of Brig in the past, and while she is the quote unquote highest skill hero, I'm decent at Brig. So, and it's not hard to be, but there you go.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Well, that's all the questions from me. Take it from here, Wild.
I mean, I don't really have much. I mean, good job. I mean, you guys did get swept, but you guys looked pretty. I mean, at times you guys were very competitive, and I'm excited to see. I mean, where you guys go. I mean, hopefully you guys can compete in the Ghost tournament, and we get to catch you guys again.
yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, I mean, that's all we have. So thank you so much for coming in, and I hope you have. I mean, good try. I mean, second place, nothing to be worried about. I mean, you guys played amazing throughout the tournament. You only had one loss besides this, and yeah, I mean, you guys should be very proud of yourselves. So have a great night.
Thank you. You as well.
Thanks so much, Alyssa. And now for our final interview tonight, we have the man behind the curtain, the one slowing down the whole game, the stream, affecting your viewing experience and our casting and production experience. Shinku himself
Yeah,
has
that
joined
TV
us
dinner,
tonight.
that TV dinner smacked. I'm gonna be with you.
All right,
I
what
don't.
Well
was
worth
it?
it.
What was it? What was it?
It was the chicken with mashed potatoes and like the brownie shit. That shit smacked. I'm gonna be with you.
Did you bring some to share
Fair
with the rest
enough.
of the class?
No, unfortunately not.
Bro, come on, dude. You can't do that. We've been casting you for like an hour and a half, 2 hours now. You got to bring something.
Yeah,
Well,
nothing.
I think the being voted MSP was just solely based off of the pauses, the breaks that we took there for your dinner. I'm glad that you're properly sustained. It's good to play the game on a full stomach, max energy. And speaking of energy, how was the energy tonight for Delta in their comms? Were you guys keeping it level-headed and cool, or were you guys just going out with a bang for this last match?
It wasn't really any different than usual. I just kind of played the game.
Okay, yeah, just business as usual, if you will, for Delta.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, gotcha. And we saw you on the off tank a lot tonight. Definitely a lot of Zarya, a lot of Diva. And which of these compositions that we got to see you guys to run tonight is your favorite personally? Is it the rush style based composition? Is it the dive comp, the double bubble? Give us a little bit of insight into the comps that you like to run, or the comps that Delta prefers to run as a team.
Uh, as a team, we probably like rush. But me personally, I don't like any of the comps. They're kind of really boring.
They're all boring. Which comps do you like, or which heroes do you want to play? You just want to do your own thing on Wrecking Ball?
No, I hate Wrecking Ball. That's a
Oh.
terrible hero. I wish Zarya was better, like individual based Zarya. But if you play Zarya as individual, you kind of just get molested, just a little bit, tiny bit.
Yeah, you
So
do need the rest of the team. You need the monkey bubbles or the shield in front of you. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And so to that extent, we saw you synergizing really well with Waffle, your main tank player tonight. So that was a blast to see. would you say that you do have really good synergy with Waffle, or is it really just the synergy between you and your supports that you have that you're better off with?
Uh, Probably me and Waffle. I've known Waffle for a long time. We used to play the console together. Goated
Oh,
on the
okay.
sticks.
I used to play
Gotcha.
console as well.
Yeah, I was like 4K on the console, but I don't really play the
Really,
much.
I was terrible on console, but I mean,
Yeah, that's unfortunate. You were just not goated on the sticks like Baka is.
yep. I'm
Well,
just not good on the sticks.
I don't know if anyone's good on the sticks like Baka is. That he is something else.
Mm.
Well, that's going to be all the questions from me, Wild. Do you have anything else that you wanted to ask?
Yes, can
Uh,
I just read a quick excerpt?
I mean, yeah, go ahead. I only have one question anyway, so go ahead, man.
Hello. I wanted to record a message for you to help you get settled in your first night. I actually worked in that office before you. I'm finishing up my last week now, as a matter of fact, so I know it can be a bit overwhelming. But I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. You'll do fine. So let's focus on getting you through the first week, okay? That was written by Michelangelo.
Boom. Nice job. You
All
heard
right,
it
so
here,
what was the
guys.
question?
All right, and then yeah, I mean, really, I only have one question. It's I mean, you guys are champions. How do you feel about that? Are you guys feeling good? You guys are feeling great. You're gonna keep going with tournaments. What's next for Team Delta?
Uh, I don't really know, to be honest. We're gonna figure it out.
Fair enough.
Take one step at a time. For now, just bask in the victory that you guys have fought so hard for this season 3 of Prospect Esports Showdown. Thanks for being a good sport. Voted MSP tonight, Shinku. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. Thanks for popping into the casting booth with us tonight. Well played. Give our congratulations to the rest of Team Delta as well, and you have a great rest of the evening.
All right, thank you. See ya.
Thanks so much. What a fun match to watch tonight, Wild. It was a little bit shorter than I had wanted, but we still got to see some really great things from both these teams. That being said, I think that that's pretty much it as far as this series goes. Is that right, Wild?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all wrapped up. I mean, we thought it was gonna be a little bit closer than it was. It wasn't. I mean, that's how life turns out sometimes. And yeah, Delta's our season 3 or intermediate champion, I believe.
Yeah, and congratulations to them on that as well. For those of you who are watching, who've been with us this whole time, thank you so much for watching. It's been an absolute pleasure to be here this evening in the booth with Wild, casting Delta versus Hyperion. Delta is our reigning champions here tonight. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow for that's going to be for the Extreme and the Upper Division games. Apollo Paradox versus We Say GG Go Next. And then later that evening, Maelstrom versus The Bench for our Upper Division. I'll actually be casting the first game tomorrow, the Extreme Division, and that'll be at 5 p.m. PST, 6 p.m. MST, 7 p.m. CST, and 8 p.m. EST. Immediately after that, we'll have Athena and Laurel casting the Maelstrom versus The Bench game. Both of those games, just since they're a little bit higher elo, they're a little bit faster paced, they play out a little bit differently. Those are going to be some fun games to watch. You don't want to miss it. Also, be sure to stick around. We'll actually be rating one of our producers, one of our casters, one of our staff members, Athena. We'll be rating their stream afterwards. You definitely want to stay tuned for some of that quality content. And I think Wild, that's all we got for you in the booth tonight.
Yeah, that's about it. I mean, it's been a pleasure, Ethan. I mean, this is it for me this season. You got another day. I mean, this is it for me this season. I plan, if Prospect will have me, I plan to come back for the GOATS tournament, but who knows? But yeah, it's been a pleasure casting, and yeah, please stick around for Athena. And thanks, guys.
Yeah, you guys have a great rest of the evening. Thanks so much.